Many years ago, in a coastal village in Northern Ireland, a fishing boat captain sat in a local pub with a hardened deckhand for hire, briefing him on the job he had on offer. They looked up as the weather report flashed across the screen of the pub television, warning of a severe fog that was crawling in, the likes of which had not been seen for 2 decades. "Well, looks like the job is off," said the deckhand. "Bollocks," snapped the captain. "This is our chance to make a huge haul. If everyone else stays in port, we'll have the entire deep sea to ourselves." The deckhand, although nervous, knew he was right, and he nodded in agreement. The next day before dawn, the 2 men headed out in the captain's small vessel, against all the warnings and advice they had been given. Before too long, they found the mist, or more likely, the mist found them, as it consumed their craft and led them into an eerily lit shade of deep grey that made even the stone-faced captain feel uneasy. The deckhand noticed that the compass had begun to spin uncontrollably, and started with, "Captain," before being immediately cut off. "Quiet," belted the captain. "I need to concentrate. Who knows what lies ahead of us?" After a long period of uncomfortable silence, the captain reduced the throttle, and they idled on the spot. "Here," the captain said. "This is where we fish." "Aye, Captain," the deckhand whipped back as he moved to man his station and set the nets. Over the next several hours, they hauled in catch after catch of the fattest fish any of them had ever seen. It was hard to tell exactly what they were in the dim light, but the captain knew, and he'd kept a keen eye on exactly what was coming in, and before long, their hold was brimming at full capacity. Exhausted, the men sat back, the deckhand glowing with excitement, knowing they had just hauled in a small fortune. "How did you know this spot was the one?" he asked. "Instinct," replied the captain. "I've always trusted my gut, and it's never let me down. However, I must let you know, I have a horrible feeling about our return journey." The deckhand's fine mood dissolved, and he stared piercingly at the captain, the eerie silence finally being broken when he said, "I'm ready for anything." Just as he managed to get the words out, a huge black tentacle whipped out of the water behind him and dragged him off the side of the boat and down into the cold, dark depths below. The captain, keeping a cool head, stepped back out onto the deck, clutching the boat's gaff pole, ready, waiting. Then, a huge black dome emerged at the stern. The captain balanced his stance and prepared to swing, but was caught off guard and was wrapped up from the side, causing him to drop the gaff and scream in pain. He hovered over the deck as the tentacles whipped back the cover to the hold and pulled out what could only be described as alien. Its tight, slick black skin squeaked against the tentacles as its own hung lifelessly beneath the coils. The massive black head of the beast then lifted out of the water and brought its teeth, like the shiny steel gates of hell, right up to face the captain. "You took my child," the captain croaked, "so I came back to take yours." It was as if the creature understood. Its mind flashed back to a time 20 years ago when he had previously crossed paths with the captain, his son, whipped off the boat and eaten alive by his younger self. The creature faced off with the captain. The captain stared back and smiled as he watched a large blade slice down the length of its neck, spilling blood and guts all over the deck. From the carcass emerged the deckhand, satisfied he'd completed his job. As the dead beast slowly slipped back overboard, they both looked down at the creature's baby, which had begun to show signs of life by slowly writhing on the deck in the blood of its mother's guts. "Should we throw her back, Captain?" the deckhand asked. "No," said the captain. and he kicked it into the hold with the other fish, secured the lid, and then powered off into the fog in search of the shore.